All right, kid, everybody, what's up? It's Robert. Got some cruisy beats going. Hope you're all good wherever you're at. Actually, wherever you are right now in the world, feel free to comment below with where you are. Let me know. Tahoe, Te Puke, Tauranga, Thailand, wherever. The last time I did one of those, it was actually very therapeutic for me by just sharing how I was feeling out. And I felt a lot of time. What I've realized by doing that, my last little vent out was the more I kind of share, at least be honest with what's going on in my head, the better I felt. So I actually felt better by talking about it. So one of the things I've been thinking about recently, I've been listening to this awesome, amazing podcast called the Side Hits podcast that Tony does down in Wanaka, and it's all about history of New Zealand snowboarding and stuff. And it's been really cool listening to stories. And every time I'm listening to their stories, it's bringing up stories that I've actually forgot about myself until I hear that. I'm like, oh, that's right. And then this other thing happened. So I've been starting to write these different things down. And so what I thought I would do is actually use a platform like this to start document. Not necessarily I want to get a lesson for you out now with something that I've learned, but actually more for me personally. In like 100 years when I'm not here, this would just be good to get off my chest, so at least it's digitized. So a business or lesson story thing. First, how I got screwed by company X. Now, I'm going to give all the details for this, and I'm not going to name names because I don't want to get sued. But what I do want to do is be able to be upfront about exactly sort of what happened in the lessons I learned. Now, at the end of the day, I got rolled and it's my fault. 100% on me, my business, my company, my decision, my choices, my network, my circle, everything my fault. And if those bad things didn't happen then, I wouldn't have got to where I am now. So, it's like, but at the same time, stuff you guys are screwing. So this is how I got screwed. I built up the snowboard website called nzsnowboard.com for years. And I knew that and I'm going to be just transparent with exactly what happened. nzsnowboard.com for years, and it was going epic. I saw a move coming more into the digital sort of online space, and I knew that it was going to be good. The problem is I was guy number 25 in the action sports landscape, which meant that if I wanted to get Coca-Cola money or Pepsi money or Mountain Dew money or the big shit to come down to create more content for others, I would have to not be guy number 25. And what I mean by that is they'd go to the buy agency, be like, okay, what do you want to spend on in snowboarding? I want to go media, I want to go event, I want to go sponsor, I want to go this, I want to go online. Okay, cool. I want to go print. Okay, cool. Now I go online. Now I want to go to here. Okay, cool. And by the time they'd get to me at nzsnowboard.com, which was just online snow, I was guy number 25. And so I thought, stuff that shit. Let's become guy number 1. Let's proactively go to the market to do it. Now, in 2008, I had a sit down in a certain town with a couple of other different players that were from different action sports. One in ski, one in skate, one in mountain bike. You can kind of do the gist. And we sat down. And essentially, the conversation was, "Hey team, how about we consolidate all our resources? Let's get a third-party contractor in to come up and sell action sports as a collective to go to the masses in Auckland to sit down with do the Ponsonby latte thing and sell to all that shit. So basically, they could be the contact for action sports in. Dollars come in, then it funnels down. So then no one needs to go to Auckland. No one needs to doesn't know how to deal with any of this corporate shit with media buying, any of that stuff. So that was essentially the game plan. And what I then felt was, okay, the game plan for me here needs to be, so long story short with that deal, the other action sports didn't want to jump in the mix, right? It's like for a variety of reasons, full respect, I get it. Then I decided to say, well, hey, look, I was about to get a TV deal for a TV show for airtime, which eventually we signed to TVNZ, which is amazing. Those crew were rad. We got a TV deal for action sports, and so now we basically had corporate funds to come through and create action sports content at the top, and that's where we went wider with airtime, and so we started rolling it out. At the same time, after the global financial crisis, all of the New Zealand action sports brands basically got steamrolled and smoked. Like Burden went from like 13 staff to 1. All the other small brands got flipping demoed. Surfing got stuffed. Like everyone got rolled. And so when all that happens and there's piss all dollars left in the ecosystem, especially from the commercial side around dollars coming in for action sports, I had to go on offense. So my offensive play was, let me get TV airtime, let me leverage that, partner it with other brands, and then I can control the funds and the resources and production so we can keep the engine running to create more action sports content for New Zealand, right? Totally cool. Then at the same time, we were getting into surf cams with Go Surf, which was the time. Now, my plan there was, hey, let me get the infrastructure in place to get live streaming cams. And I actually had, not many people know this, I actually had a deal done with the breakfast show on TVNZ through a contact there that was going to basically live stream them in. So I kind of had TV on one pull from this side, TV on the other side, and then I had Action Sports. And that's when I had to consolidate. So the first thing is like, why did NZSnowboard.com have to do that? It's because basically everyone got fired, all the cash got rolled, and we had to extend up to go on offense. And so that's what we did. And then we created the snow show around it. Now, where the media company is that rolled me. So the people don't know this shit, but this is like, it was always interesting of how it feels in to say it. So if you're following along so far, I appreciate it. And so what happened then was I got approached, and basically Frontside was doing really well, and that's the one which eventually partnered was acquired by Saatchi and Saatchi. We filmed this big event for this media company, went really well, reached out to the CEO and said, hey, looks like you're providing, new digital products to existing clients. We've got a fast moving kind of production beast for digital assets. This might be a worthy conversation. And she's like, yeah, 100%. So introduce me to some of the crew. So now I'm talking with the head sort of GMs and executives at this big media company. Let's call them Company X. So I'm talking to X, and I'm like, and then for me, I'm 26, 7 at the time. We've got New Zealand's largest action sports network. We've frontside things rolling. It's flipping, cranking away. And then I see what the players here. I'm like, okay, they've got eyeballs. Let's plug in action sports into this. They get the sales team that come across it. Then all of a sudden, they can go sell the events. They can sell the online. We can do this, like the whole thing, right? Basically, that becomes the plug in there. So we go for a catch up. And then next thing you know, I've got the two of the main executives that report directly to the CEO in my office up in Auckland, and full, power move men, blah, blah. And at the end of the conversation, essentially was this. Company X was going to basically take on airtime and everything under the wing. And basically there was going to be a kind of, essentially it was going to be almost a buyout of the two companies to bring them up, give me a role within it, and then budget and upside, and then I can control and run everything. So what deal came back essentially was going to be head of video, and I was got like 26 or 27 for this, publicly listed, big, massive Company X. And I was like, dude, this is it. Then they've got a sales team of a couple hundred people. This is going to be flipping layup, blah, blah, right? So I go talk to my mentor, and one of my mentors is ex-CEO of a big company, very well known, and we go for coffee, and I'm just like hyped, like, holy shit, this is going to be the greatest shit of all time. Oh my God, this is going to be so sick. And then I'm just going hard, right? And this company was going through some moves. They're about to shift in. And then he goes, I'm basically talking about a roll-up of an action sports media network for digital properties to go up into their existing ecosystem, right? The question comes back, and he goes, when do they move into their new building? I'm like, new building? I don't know, like June or some shit. I don't know, like 6 months. He's like, yeah, it's probably enough time. I'm like, enough time for what? What are you flipping talking about? It's like, yeah, it's enough time. He goes, well, you sign an NDA or some shit. I was like, yep. He's like, okay, well, this is either the greatest thing that's happened to you, or you're about to get steamrolled. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, well, if I'm them right now, this is my play. I'm going to try and consolidate a bunch of these other different players all into the same mix. I'm going to sign NDA so they can't go to the rest of the market and actually talk. So they lock in the IP, lock in the talent. And then if they get the green light to push go, we pull them in. After 6 months, pull the sift through, cut out all the weak links, gas all the Muppets, take all the best IP, pull it in-house, and then potentially that's going to, jack the stock price by X, which covers the cost of all the acquisitions. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. So you sign an NDA, you can't talk to anyone. I was like, yeah. You can't let anyone know what's going on. I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, well, if that's not happening, we think you're about to get flipping rolled. I'm like, huh, fuck. so then I get on defense a little bit. I'm thinking of all this. Then the contract comes through, the offer comes through, and we talk through some specifics of what my role would be and my expectations and how I was going to blow this thing up, because we had a whole crew underneath that was going to do it. And basically, sales team was going to come through. Everyone's getting flipping paid. Everyone's going to come up with the mix. And I got the contract through, and I sat down with the executive A. Let's call him Executive A, and he, like just doing this thing, yeah, blah, blah. Here's a thing. We talk through numbers, right? We talk through numbers. We talk through specific expectations. The contract comes through, and the numbers way off, like way off. And I understand, a nice 6-figure salary when that plus all the upside and the acquisitions and all that, it's like cool. But for me, when you flip and look me in the eye and you say, yo, this is what we're doing and this is what the number is, and then the paperwork comes through and it's way off, I'm like, stuff you guys. So I get it, and I just get on the phone. I was like, look, bro, like, this is kind of disrespectful now. This is bullshit. Like, we said this is totally not that at all. And basically, without getting too much in details, I kind of told them to get stuffed, and they kind of had played me because, just as expected, nothing really rolled out. Everyone kind of got rolled through, and then the other executives all got fired and nothing rolled through. And it was a bit of a little bait and switch. So what I learned was I'd signed an NDA too early to stop me talking from others. I just kind of locked in exclusive to this as a negotiation thing. The second part of it was I really had let a lot, because this is my first time trying to jump up to the big dog status to try and, like, I was going to be early, like late 20s, head of video of a, you know, publicly listed, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars of shit. Holy shit, like, how cool would that be, right? And then all my crew comes with me, everyone gets flipping paid, we're rolling. Shit did not happen. The other part was I got too hyped in the moment of what I knew it would be, which is going to be this big mega thing where I couldn't then tell anyone because I was on lockdown with NDA. So I couldn't say who I was talking to, what specifically was happening or anything. And eventually by the end of it, it was a hustle to basically sign it, shut up. And that was kind of, so I got blocked. It was a block strategy. It was, you know, there was a well-crafted block strategy, and I got blocked. So what I learned, I felt really shit afterwards too, because then what happens, I'm sitting there going, dude, I've promised all these people all this other shit. Now that's not happening because you guys are playing some, you know, meta chess, positioning, all the rest of it. And I got rolled. So I got extremely pissed and dark. But what ended up being good is I realized that the assets that I had and the relationships that I had were really valuable. And since we just doubled down on, and we were still looking for partners at the time with the airtime thing, but we doubled down on frontside with all our different partnerships we had. And then that's what eventually led to, it was probably only, you know, a couple of years later, whatever it was, that's what led to the acquisition and partnership with the team at Saatchi & Publicis Group. So it all worked out way better than that other thing, but it was just more, it's a good lesson to learn. So my little red light for today on this was, if someone comes to you with a deal for something and makes you sign it first, try and see it from, like the CEO did, who's my one of my mentors, was he was zoomed up to like 30,000 feet and was looking at all these other different moving parts, which I didn't see. I was at ground level, but it's my first time through the ringer. So I'm like, this is the dopest shit ever. Potentially not. So next time someone asks you to sign something or some type of strategic partnership, nothing wrong with an NDA, but don't sign it where you give them exclusive negotiation periods and shit, because they could be just getting you to sign that so you don't talk to anyone else. Because at the exact same time, I potentially would have rather do a deal somewhere else. And it gets me a bit bummed. It was a great lesson and awesome journeys through it. And, you know, the outlet gave us a great amount of fun for a great amount of time and hooked up, you know, probably biggest producer of the action sports content in New Zealand at the time and all the rest of it. But, you know, for a legacy of where it came from to where it ended, bit bummed, because what was given as everything on a platter to basically change the whole game ended up being a block strategy to keep me out of the market against competitors, to go to their board to get a green light to try and jack up some stock price. So there's always a disconnect between my emotions at the top and the strategy that was actually happening at the bottom and what was happening at the top. So that was it. Hope you like this little story time. I think I want to do more of these. And what I am going to be doing from next week, and you can feel free to jump in with any thoughts or comments, or actually, what did you learn from this lesson? You know, get more advices, whatever it is, feel free to comment below. I'll be checking it out. Next week we're going to be doing, I've decided, Rebet Live at 5, Monday through Friday, every single flipping day. Because then the show on today starts next month. I'm really hyped on that. It's going to be on Saturdays. And so all week you can look forward to my ugly mug, Rebet Live at 5. Live at 5, Rebet Live. Oh, mate, how's that? Actually, maybe I should really work on my radio voice. Rebet Live at 5, Rebet Live at 5, Rebet Live. Oh, it's pretty good. I'll give myself claps for that. Claps. Yes. So, Live at 5, Rebet Live. Monday through Friday, every day, every day I'm hustling. This has been very therapeutic. So now this is also, so when I'm older, I'll look back at this and I'll remember about the learnings and the journeys that I've done through this time. So that's that. Have fun. Enjoy the day. Be good, be great. And from next week, Monday through Friday, Rebet Live. Live at 5. It's Rebet Live. I can do better. If you got a better thing, comment it below. I think I can do a bit better with that. Have a good day, team. And to everyone in the action sports and all that world, I'm sorry. I got stuffed, got rolled, got flipping rolled, and should have played it differently. Who knows? Plenty of time ahead, and then hopefully, who knows what the future holds. But gave me so much, and it was cool to help a bunch of others with it. Learned many on my journey, and it's been pretty cool. So hopefully you've learned something, because I did. Cost me a bunch. Hi, team.